minutes. That's what we're watching here. Also, durable goods. Both of these have a inflation vibe to them. Higher than expected on both would be bullish for the dollar in normal circumstances. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kill the music. Normally I let it run, let people come in here, but we got 3 minutes. So 3 minutes core inflation, or sorry, personal consumption. It's PCE, and you got durable goods. Both of these are expected to be, sorry. The PCE is expected to be flat. It was 0.3% last month. We're forecasting at 0.3%. 0.3% or 0.4% would be bullish for the dollar. If we look at the dollar, you can see that the dollar is pulling back today. All right, so we'll see if we get more bullish news for the dollar, and if the dollar continues to be bullish, then we will be looking to take a short on Bitcoin. The short that we took yesterday on Bitcoin, as I ended the stream, it ended up working out. So kudos to anybody that took that trade. Hopefully you took profits. Hopefully you took profits. Because this is where we took our entry. Down here is where we were taking profits. Because right after that, I mean, boom. So you've been trading sideways all day, so it does look like that they're waiting on this. So we'll see how it plays out. See if we get a spike to the upside, to the downside. This is yesterday's high. Daily supports down there. So if you want to get long, that would be an area to look for potential opportunities. It's a long ways away from current price. You could potentially just take a short now. I'm still in a short trade on it still, so there's no point in me taking a new short unless I do it on, I could do it on the other account. Let me go over here. Because really and truly, you're in the middle of the range, so I don't see a liquidation spike to occur. This is the low of day. Right there. Low of day. This is high of day. Yesterday's high. So let's see what we got. So it looks like we came in lower, so that should be bullish on Bitcoin on the coral durable goods, and then PCE we came in line. So yeah, I mean, you could read that bullish for risk or Bitcoin, but it could also be sold into, right? Because everything is kind of selling off. Yeah, that's what I expected, to be honest. What are we testing over here? Let's see if we can get a stab at daily support, because the long entry right there would be okay. All right, so what is that level? Oh, it's yesterday's resistance. All right, so it's at yesterday's resistance. right there. That's what it's bouncing into, if you will. So let's see if it comes back down there and holds. We'll take a long. Well, you're going to use 50% of the position, 25x leverage. I would much rather get an entry at daily support. Come on, you can do it. That would also make a fresh low on the day. Yeah, a fresh daily low. It won't take out yesterday's low, but it would be a fresh today's low. What do we got going on over here? Let's see. Short sellers. Everybody's always short. All right. So I got the main short running still, but I'm going to take a long on the tether side of the platform just to see, you know what I mean? All right, my entry is this white line. I'm just going to manage risk at the low of day. Let's see how the dollar's reacting. The dollar's getting a bounce. So that's why we're getting the stab lower on Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to be targeting somewhere up in here. You know what I mean? Anywhere up in here, I'll start to take profits. I'll start to scale out of the position. It's a smaller account, so it's not going to kill me if I lose this trade. But on the main account, I still have a short. That short is, if I can get it over there. That short position is at 26,656. So it's not very far. 26,656. So it'd be like right in there. So that would ultimately stop out that short trade. Obviously, I already took profits on it when it had its big move down. This is the move that I capitalized on. And for the last 2 days, we've just been trading sideways to up. So taking out yesterday's high could be another initial area to look for short entries. If it gets up there, obviously. On the 5-minute time frame, it does not look like it wants to as of right now. Let's get rid of this. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Yo. Always on the lookout for a live stream for Mr. Heath. Yeah, I told everybody yesterday that I would go live for the PCE. It's actually a big thing. That's the reason we could be seeing the dollar get a pop, because you did get unchanged. So literally what that means is inflation is sticky. All right. The price index is actually up from expectations. Personal income didn't get a number there for some reason. Oh, the PCE is up. So I read that wrong. Durable goods. What are they doing? Are they redoing the numbers? Yeah, so I read that wrong. All right. Durable goods. A higher than expected read should be positive. But so you got, once again, you got news day that has two news events, two big news events, and both of them offset one another. One's bullish, one's bearish. So I guess it'll be up to investors to decide the direction. They were expecting 0.0%. They got a negative 0.2%. That's bearish for the dollar. But the PCE number is bullish. And this one is actually more important, in my opinion, as this is basically saying that inflation is sticky. The core personal consumption expenditure price index measures the changes in price of goods and services purchased by consumers for the purpose of consumption, excluding food and energy. Prices are weighted according to total expenditure per item. It measures price change from the perspective of the consumer. It is a key way to measure changes in purchasing trends and inflation. Daily support is right there, so you could trade to there and bounce, as it would be a new low of day. And yesterday's price action did more than take out the high. You know what I mean? It took out the high pretty good. Pretty good. And it closed up on the day. So what we're looking for is we're looking for this and this to be the range, the operating range of the entire day. So you can see here, that's daily resistance as it's a bullish close. This is just yesterday's area that we were watching for the short trade. We'll see how this plays out. Not what the Fed wants to see. No. Well, I guess that depends, really. I mean, it depends. Do they want to raise again or do they want to pause? Yesterday we were discussing this, Tom and I, where the percentage or probabilities of a hike for June has been all over the place this month. It was lower, it was higher. It got as high as 71% probable that they would not hike. Now it's pretty much 50-50 based on the news, I'm assuming. Obviously, a hike is not bullish for risk. That's why, like, most of the time, you want to look for the short side when you've broken down, and you've clearly broken down, right? There's your daily 21. I mean, you had multiple opportunities in this range here to get above the 21, and yet you failed and broke down. That's typically a bearish signal. So if you're looking for bearish entries, my advice would be to wait for daily resistance or yesterday's high. And that daily resistance trade has already been, you know what I mean, tagged. So right now, what this short is struggling with would be yesterday's resistance. It's just intraday resistance. It's not a daily resistance. All right. And there is a difference. Daily resistance levels are typically, daily support and resistance levels are much more powerful than an intraday resistance or support. I can actually see it stopping out my short trade and then rolling back over. Can you please say the number price for those who are listening but cannot watch? The current long entry for me, price wise, is 26,393. On the Bitget platform, that is 26,387.5. I trade on the Bitget platform. It's a really good platform. It's actually my favorite platform. Unfortunately, they do not accept U.S. citizens, but they accept everybody else in the world. There is a link in the description if you want to use it. Also, if you deposit $300 to Bitget and make a trade, it will give you free access to the Trade Talk Discord. But for U.S. users, if you need, if you want to trade an inverse swap, you can go to BitTrue. There's also, well, there's not a link yet in the description for that, but I will fix that after this stream. I just started with it yesterday, so I'm still working out the kinks on that platform. It's a little bit different. Bitget is, to me, a better platform, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely a good platform. Gives you great entry, great fills. If you're trading an asset that has a lot of liquidity in it. If you're trading an asset that doesn't have a lot of liquidity, then, which that's with any brokerage or exchange, liquidity is king. So it is still struggling here. We got 14 minutes left on the hourly close. An hourly close under 26,393 would suggest that we're going to probably see a fresh daily low, and daily support is at 26,321, spot 40. That's on the Coinbase exchange. Those prices may be different if you're looking at a different exchange. Daily support 26,321. Daily resistance 26,479. Small range, but that is the range in which you look to operate in. We're still quite a bit, away from the New York Open. I don't know if I'll take the stream up into the open today because I have to be somewhere at 10 o'clock this morning. I have an appointment. Get some windows tinted. as it is getting to be summertime in Florida, and you got to have tinted windows, that's for sure. So currently on the P&L, I am up 2.65%. Remember, I took it with a half a position size and a very small leverage. Well, it's 25x is not small leverage by any means. By any means. But operating inside of a small range like this, as long as you know where your risk is and you have a stop loss, you will be safe. CPI is on the day of the Fed meeting, June 13. I think this PCE data is the last data before the meeting, the last important data, perhaps. CPI and FOMC meeting on the same day. That's going to be a crazy day. And then again, it could be a very choppy day. Hopefully, we get a lower print on CPI from 4.9 to like 4.4 or 4.3. 4 would be better. Once again, the London session called the low of day. There's your 2 a.m. candle. If you'd have been watching at the London session, you could have just taken the opposite trade because the market was trading lower into the, London session. If I said New York session, I mean London session. Often the London session calls the low or high of day. And in this case, so far, your low of day was on the London Open, at the London Open. It doesn't work all the time. So make sure you manage your risk if you're taking trades during London. And in a simple way to do that is find out the daily open. You can do that simply no matter where you live in the world. If you use this indicator, it shows you the daily opens and the daily closes, the daily high and the daily low in the form of this box. The beginning of the box is your open. So this is the opening of the yesterday or the day before. And then this is the close. So you have an open right there. And then there's yesterday's close. There's the open right there. As of right now, the London session has called the low, but daily support is just under the low. And then there's your daily high. This indicator is in technicals, profiles. It is the session volume profile. Session volume profile. In the settings, you just simply, right here on the histogram box, you can decide how dark or light you want the box to be. The box just shows you the daily open, high, and low. And it will show you the close when you get to the close. So that will work no matter where you are. if you still don't know how to identify dailies, opens and closes. For us in the New York, or for us in America, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Slightly pushing up. Choppy, still looks like it's more to the sell side. Yesterday looks like just a bearish continuation day. Like there's your breakdown, stab a little bit lower. This is ultimately my bearish target. That price, the exact price is 25,810, 25,810. So when you have a day like this, then typically you look for the next day or the day after to be, continuation. But like you can see here, even though this is daily resistance on the 5 minute time frame, you will still get, candles above it, right? But ultimately, it will hold if that is going to be the daily directional bias. Like your short traders will be watching for entries here or at the high of day. If you look over here, you can see that the SPX is barely up 0.1%. US 100, which is the NASDAQ, barely up 0.2%. US 30 barely up. Barely up. Yesterday did make a fresh high. And then today's you've made a fresh high. So you're still trending in the upward direction based on Nvidia's big news yesterday, but I am expecting it to run out of steam pretty soon. You're already printing bearish divergence on the daily time frame. The SPX, did a bull flag flat out. A bull trap flat out. Broke out and then broke back down into the range. So I would expect this price here, 41.73, to potentially act as resistance moving forward. You're still above the 21, so I don't suggest looking for short trades when price is above that and above the 50 on the RSI, as this is your momentum indicator, right? It indicates momentum, and clearly it doesn't have much, right? You're starting to get an uptick off of the 50. Ultimately, it could find resistance and roll over, but you don't typically want to look for the short trade until you get that. And you got to be careful because traps exist. There were two of them right there. Trap. So we'll see here how this ends up playing out in the long run. Bitcoin's obviously, it doesn't really, you're below the 50, but you don't really have that momentum to the downside yet either. You started to get it right here. Then yesterday curbed it. So you'll probably get that expansion lower ultimately. So if you're looking for short trades, the price to do that, once again, 26,479, today's high or yesterday's high. Those are the only three places I would look to take a short. And obviously that will be dictated on price action as the day goes on. You don't short daily resistance if you get a candle that blasts through it. Obviously, you want to wait and see where it finds resistance. You can do that on the smaller time frames. But typically your hourly candles are the best to watch, in my opinion. They are the best. It's the best time frame to watch. It gives you patience if you're waiting for closes, and it helps you see the range better. Read that. If you have time, can you take a look at pound Swiss? I'm short just under yearly open. Thanks. Yes, we can look at it right now because I got Bitcoin pulled up on the other monitor. You said you're short just under the yearly open. I wonder why I do not have the yearly open outlined. But I can find it. You took the short today on the retest. You're under the 50. I like it. This could be a pullback into support. I mean, into resistance. If you break out and close stronger today, then obviously you'll lose on the trade, but I like the trade. The 21 can act as resistance, but you can see that you've been sideways for a long time. You broke down here, but you did not get any continuation. You bounced all the way back up to resistance there, and then you dropped yesterday. So you did get below daily support. And closed below it as well. So I like it. What you need is for the Swiss franc to be stronger than the pound. Right now, the Swiss franc is up 0.27%, and the British pound is stronger. The reason the British pound is stronger than the Swiss franc today is because of this right here. They had core retail sales, and it was a beat. So that's just like the dollar, that would be bullish for the British pound. This is also a beat. This is also a beat. You see what I'm saying? On the things that matter was a beat. So your pound is stronger than your Swiss franc based on the pound news. I still like the trade because the pound could obviously find resistance there. But I strongly suggest if you don't have a currency futures watch list, you make one. You can pause the video. These are all the symbols. The S is the Swiss franc, the E is the euro, the B is the pound, J is the yen, C is the Canadian dollar, N is New Zealand, A is Aussie. And put DXY in there as well, as that way you can see what currency future or what currencies are actually stronger than the dollar on the day. So that can help you with your trade. So the Swiss franc, if it gains strength and the pound starts to lose strength, starts to go down, then your trade will work. I like the area. I like the trade. And the Swissy is on an uptrend. So you got a pullback currently happening, right? You currently have a pullback happening, but this could be the end of the road. It could start to find support somewhere, build in support, and then get another leg to the upside. And the pound is also structured bullish and coming into an area where it could potentially be support. So I suggest you get this watch list so that way you can get an idea of, because your base currencies and your quote currencies are, you can take trades based solely on what the pair itself is doing as far as resistance goes and all of that. But like if you look at pound Swissy on the weekly, it does suggest that you're going to see lower prices, but you can also see that you're right at weekly support. And that weekly support comes in right at the yearly opening range. So I do like the trade. I do like it. Whether it works today or not, we'll see. We'll see, because today is Friday. Today is that we'll close this candle. But I definitely don't hate the trade. It's just right now, the pound is stronger. All right, Bitcoin's moving up to where it had spiked. So this was the entry. Go ahead and start taking profits now because this is daily resistance. From there to there, decent little trade. That was 8%. 26470. I'll get a take profit up. Hopefully it goes back up there. So definitely want to take profits at daily resistance, because this is, like I said, where short traders are going to look to get short. That price is 26479. One spot 11804 is your pound Swiss entry. So currently I have a long here on the CAD Swiss because of daily support. You can see that spread is absolutely god awful. 3.5 pips. But it's red on the day. The reason I took it is I took it as a potential bull trap. But it's definitely bearish. There's the 21 up there. So this was probably the spring back. So we'll see if this ends up holding as weekly support. I'm actually going to move this up so I don't lose quite a whole percent. I'm just going to get it right under there. That means I will be losing a little bit more than 0.5% if I'm wrong. But today it's like, it's not the right trade to take, because obviously you can see Canadian dollar is unchanged on the day, and the Swiss franc is stronger. Therefore, this asset will go lower. So I'll probably close the trade upon an hourly closure under this hour support. This is daily and weekly support on CAD Swiss. I liked it for a long yesterday, as long as it closed back above the 21, and it did not. But sometimes traps exist. So I'm thinking maybe this will be a trap and then you'll get a nice move to the upside. This is where we took the short on this back in April. Me, Michelle, a couple other Trade Talk members in the Discord, we all took the short right here. Clearly, you can see that that trade ended up paying out good. So it basically just came right back to that entry. So if you were still holding the CAD Swiss trade with your take profit, your stop loss setting at break even, obviously this stopped you out. So is it possible that it rolls back over? Yeah, it is. But this was a lot of volatility coming off that low. But it does look like you stalled out. Now that the reason is because of daily resistance there. Once you broke out above this resistance, then you would go to this resistance. So we'll see if this ends up being a trap or not. If Swiss franc can get some more strength, then your trade will work out as well as mine. I'm still sitting in a good trade on the pound dollar and also on the USD JPY. Both of those trades are well in the money. I'm going to have to close the USD JPY if it doesn't start to roll over soon. The Japanese yen does not look like it's going to roll over. When I say roll over, I mean go in the opposite direction. Rollover typically is for going to the downside, but since you're trading against pairs, it doesn't matter. But I want this to bounce. I need this to go higher. And Barclays is with me. They think the same thing that I do, but obviously I took the trade long before Barclays came out with their projection on the USD JPY. I'm short up here on the USD JPY. So if we just fib this from swing high to swing low of the major move, you can see that you just broke up above the 50% retracement. So it's not good. I did get exited. I did make money on the Bitcoin trade. I did just get filled. This candle right here traded up and hit my exit. Oh, one and done. Yesterday's trade, live streamed, successful. Today's trade, live streamed, successful. Now I don't give a shit if Bitcoin rolls over or not. Like I said, I also have a short position right now on the US or on the Coin M futures. That is the inverse perpetual swap futures contract. So you're trading with Bitcoin, and if you make money or if you're right on your trade, you get paid in Bitcoin. If you're wrong, you lose some Bitcoin, but it's the best way to trade Bitcoin, right? If you're a profitable trader, because then you can just, when you make money, you take it out of the exchange and put it into cold storage, and you just keep doing that. Thanks, Heath, for calling out the price for those who can only listen due to work. That sucks. Can you do that every asset when you're talking? Yes, I can from now on. I'm sorry. I have a really bad habit about that, John. And it's because I'm not a really good YouTuber. I'm a trader, guys. I'm not a YouTuber. But I will from now on. I will call out the prices. That way, whenever you get time or whatever, you can go back and check. Obviously, you can't partake in the trade if you're at work, unless you have a phone, and I don't trade from a phone. I have the luxury of sitting at home, trading from my office. And that's my hope for all of you one day. Every one of you few ledges. My hope for you is that you're able to tell your boss to shove it. Because I am done. I'm going home and I'm going to work from home. It is possible. You just need a strategy. So for anybody looking to take a fresh short position on Bitcoin, remember 26,479 would be the first area of interest. Second area of interest would be the current day's high, which is 26,551. And then the third interest or spot of interest would be yesterday's high at 26,624. You can watch on the smaller time frame chart to help you with your entries. For instance, if you wanted to take the short on at daily resistance, you would simply wait for price to get back under it. All right? But it's hard to do on the smaller time frames because sometimes you'll get back under it and then jack right back up through it. That's why I suggest you watch the hourly time frames and give yourself patience for the close. If you miss the trade, it is no big deal. There is an opportunity every single day, Monday through Friday. Every day, Monday through Friday, Bitcoin gives you an opportunity to take money out of the marketplace and make your P&L just a little bit bigger. Once you can consistently do that, man, your life will change. I promise you. I can't make you a profitable trader. I can teach you what to look for and at what times to look. But ultimately, it will be up to you because you're trading against yourself. Price is going to do what price is going to do. You have no control over that. All you can control is where you enter and where you exit and what times, right? So, good trade. I've already taken profits, but right now the return on entry is 32.52%. Now, I didn't bank 32% because I took profits. So this shows what I would have made had I left the whole position open. Wait, no, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. That is the current ROE on the short trade. Sorry. Let me get over to the Tether side of the platform. There we go. 8%. That's more like it. 8%. That's on the entire equity. That's not bad. Not bad. Most people are, they have a goal of just 2 to 3% per week. You just watched me nail 2 trades in 2 days. Both times, both trades were well in exceeding of 8%, right? Yesterday's trade was in the 20s. Just got to make a couple percent per week. Change your life. We are struggling here. We are getting closer to the open. So we will watch the open and see what happens. The SPY is going to be gapping up. So it's going to be up 0.23% on the day upon opening. That's what it was yesterday on the close. You can see the SPY yesterday had a big sell-off at the open, came back down, set high, right back down into the low, and then it just trended up for the rest of the day. So at 11 o'clock, we would have assumed the low was in, since we were trading at the high, and we would have been right, because it did not make a fresh low of day when it came back down. It looked like it was going to, but it didn't. And then it shot up for the rest of the day. But still, not a very good day to the upside. We like to see those big candles. And this is the SPX. The SPX almost looks identical to Bitcoin. Well, this V anyways. This is the kind of uptrends we like to see. Just up, 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 up. Every candle. I guess you could say it's comparable, but not really. Just on the news. Because this thing is still above the 21 and Bitcoin is under it. I would ultimately love to see this end up being a bear trap. And you could basically say that that is based on the China news. On this day is when that news came out. So we shall see. But you can see how the daily is struggling at the resistance there. These should not be yellow lines. They should be white. Yeah, I got you. All right. You don't want to be me, Bradley. You want to be you. You just want to be able to. You just got to fix your problems, my friend. You were a member in the Discord for a long time. I have no problems against you. You know what I'm saying? You're like everybody else. Every single human being alive. You've got issues, and those issues can be fixed. It's habits, right? You got to break the old bad habits. Learn to make new good habits. Once you're able to do that, especially in trading, you got to break away from all the things that you think you know, because you don't know, right? Those strategies that are taught mostly, they're all full of shit. They're garbage. This is a legit strat. I mean, it works day after day after day. You just got to know when to apply that risk and where. Sometimes you're going to get it right. Sometimes you're going to get it wrong. But don't think of it in terms of right and wrong, because you don't know what price is going to do. Therefore, you can never be right. Since you don't know what price is going to do, you can never be wrong. You will either make money or lose money. It's as simple as that. It's a coin flip. But by knowing where to take those entries and when, that's a huge help. Because if price is in the middle of these two lines right here, you know you're not doing anything. You're not looking to short this area here. You're not looking to go long here. Why? Because you're in the middle of the freaking range. The only thing that you can expect from here is chop. Now down here is a good spot to look for a long. Up here is a good spot to look for a sell. It's as simple as that. And then over time, if you just keep practicing doing that, you will get better. Risk the same amount on every trade. That way you're not screwing up. You must be consistent in everything you do. It must be consistent. You got to be consistent in the way you take your entries and consistent in the way you take your exits. Consistent in the times that you look for those entries and consistent on the risk. Because that one time you think you're going to be right and you decide to do the 125x, you're going to get crushed. That'll be the one time that that price goes against you and you're going to think it's going to turn around until ultimately you get liquidated. Boom. And at 125x, it does not take very big moves to get you liquidated. And then all of the gains that you made previously get wiped out because of one stupid mistake that was inconsistent of the way that you were doing it, right? Be consistent. Consistency is key. All right, we got 8 more minutes till the market open, and I will only stay alive for like 10 minutes after that, and then we'll wrap it up. I just want to see what happens on the open. Oh, and as far as trading futures on Bitget, I forgot to say that there is no KYC or none of that. You can simply take USDC, USDT, or Bitcoin and transfer it to a wallet once you sign up. All that is required for sign up is an email and a password. Then I would set up, two-factor authorization and just start practicing with a little amount of money. You can trade with 15, 20 bucks until you get the habit of it. Then you can apply more margin. Um, so CAD Swissy is looking like it's trying to turn around. This is another Forex trade that I am in currently right now on the books. I am short USDJPY for massive gains on the year. Literally, I don't have to trade any more Forex pairs for the rest of the year. That's how good of a trade that USDJPY trade was. I got a short US or short pound dollar trade open as well. I shorted it up here right into this area. It was on the news. Let me find the exact entry. Right there. It was right here. We got a news pop. I took the short based on that right there. Back to the daily. You can see what that is. It is a Heath level or old support. So that short is currently still working out. And then now I just took the position on the CAD Swissy. And we'll see if this ends up working out or not later on. All right. Here, I'll show you the short trade on the Japanese yen. Right there it is. That's the short entry. The reason you can't see my stop loss is because it's at the dead even. There's the short entry I took on the USD JPY. And the pound is on the different account, so can't show you that one. But anyways, it looks like the pound is coming off a little bit, so man, you just need the Swiss franc to get a little bit of weak strength, not weakness, strength. And you said your entry is 1.11804. So right there, exactly. 11804. That's your entry. I don't know where your risk is. I'll never be able to get it back on. There it is. So right there would be 15 pip stop loss. And a 25 pip stop loss would be up there. So I don't know how you took the trade, but or what you're risking and your stop loss. But as far as your entry goes, I like it. And this is a breakdown day, so I mean, up into here you could get literally. Good morning, Mario. We got 3 minutes until the market opens. Stop loss is setting just above the weekly open. Nice. I like it. I don't know if it'll work, but I like it, bro. So right there is where stop is. And it's just above resistance. Lovely. Lovely stuff, man. See, you are getting it. You are getting it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You see how this hourly is? There's still 30 minutes on it. You know what I mean? But that's daily res. Today's high, yesterday's high. Loving it. If you just joined us, Mario, we took a long trade on this new spike. We got long down here based off of yesterday's resistance. We took profits right there. So we got long at 26,387 and we took profits at 26,478. The S&P 500 is now better than neutral on the day. That's good news. If it can just stay doing that. But it's coming into resistance. It's trading above what would be considered daily resistance. So obviously you don't want to short there. 4165 would be the area of opportunity, and then ultimately 4173. Those are the two areas you would look for if you had a short side bias. I don't suggest it because you held at the 21. So I don't know if it's going to continue going higher, but that's that. Bitcoin needs a good pop before the monthly close, or the monthly on the RSI will close bearish. I think you mean or the RSI will close bearish. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the monthly RSI is, because Bitcoin is so new, right? You've only been under it for, a year or so. Each time you get under it, the momentum was definitely going higher on the monthly. So you can see where you lost that bit of momentum, and this thing obviously will close down under it. If Bitcoin closes bearish on the month, there's only a few more days left. So it probably will. But ultimately, it's still in an uptrend, right? The monthly from the yearly open. Your RSI is still setting above where you opened on the year. So you're still good. If the momentum drops below 30, what is that? 39.98, then you got problems. But since there's only 5 days left on the monthly, I would almost say that Bitcoin will probably go up for the next 5 days or be sideways to up. I got all these lines, you can't really see what they are on the monthly. But this area right here is a potential for Bitcoin to get to in 5 days. Not very far from where it is right now. All right. But it would still close bearish. But that's last month's low. April's low. It'd be nice to see it close above April's low for sure. So in the next 5 days, if you get back up here above 26,965, that will not look bad. Not on the monthly. And on the weekly, it still looks freaking good to me. You're losing bearish momentum. For now. For now. All right, so we're getting a nice little pop here. We got to get above there, and boom, there you go. So you just stopped out everybody that got short on the newsprint. Here we go. 1 minute before the open. Oh, wait, sorry, we're 4 minutes after the open. That's why we're getting a spike in volume. So you just took out today's high. You took a brand new fresh daily high. That was your daily high at 26,551. So Bitcoin could roll over from here. Nobody knows what will happen. But like I said, for short sellers, that will be an area of interest. Simply because it is a fresh daily high. Ultimately, 26,625 is yesterday's high. So that'll be the next bullish target if Bitcoin can remain bullish. And I mean, so far so good, right? It is making higher highs and higher lows. That's after a big move to the downside, and it's a tight range. But it is trending up nonetheless. Oh. All right. Which is another term for a bear flag, but we'll see how it plays out moving forward. I don't care what it does now. Like I said, my trade is done. I already got paid for the day. I'm done for the day. My Canadian Swiss trade looking pretty damn good now, huh? Looking pretty damn good now. That's probably going to be bad news for your pound Swissy trade. Let's just see real quick. Yeah, it's getting weaker. The pound is too, though. If the Swiss franc gets stronger than the pound, then obviously your trade will work. I still like it. It's just oftentimes, it is what it is. Price does random things like this. people, I was looking at this for a short, but then I found daily support, which is this white line at 0.6628. Let me pull up the Discord so that way you guys can see real quick how I basically changed my mind. So I was watching CAD Swiss for a long, and these last 2 days could be a bear trap, but it looks like a short today. I was based on the price action that I was looking at. Could be a bear trap. We have core PC in 19 minutes. And then just below that, wait, no, it's had daily support. So don't look for shorts, basically, right? This is daily support. That's where I intended to get long, but the spread is terrible. So the spread put me up here. Terrible. Terrible entry. The best entry would have been right there, obviously. But when you use a spread account, then that's what's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about that. But we'll see how it ends up later on today. It's already been a good year, and it's usually always a good week around here. Bitcoin is up 0.26% on the day. Not very good. It'd be much better to get up into the 1 or 2%. That would be some momentum that we really need. BTC pattern traders shorted the head and shoulders on the daily. They're likely trapped now. See, that's the thing right there. That's the thing right there. Don't trade head and shoulders patterns on the daily. I'm not sure what head and shoulders you're looking at unless you're looking at this massive. But yeah, if they shorted the breakdown, which would have been right in here, once price gets above that, they will be trapped. But there is a measured move on a head and shoulders pattern if it plays out, which I don't consider this to be a head and shoulders pattern. That would be roughly right in here. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. Bitcoin's moving up. That looks good. Next area to look for potential shorts, if you're looking for a short, is 26625. That is yesterday's high. So just find yesterday's candle, tag the line to the high. That'd be the area to watch. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that will be the next area of importance. All right. With that, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you Tuesday morning, same time. Well, let's not say same time because my times vary. It'll be on Tuesday morning around or before the market open. All right. Thank you all for being here. As always, make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.